This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and I got inspired tonight. I opened my auction mail from Keisha, and yeah, she had this little note card in there that said, "Thank you for your order." Little note card. Isn't this sweet? Isn't it sweet? And as I opened it, I said, wouldn't it be fun to make these little cards and either swap them or send them to somebody? And as we talked about it, I said, why don't we just have an open challenge? Let's just do an open challenge. Becky at Aunt Beck's Creations is doing a Happy Mail journal. And so this is a neat little way that maybe you can send some little note cards that you make from items on your desk. Let me zoom in just a little more here. Items on your desk and little scrappies that you have. And yeah, make a little note card or make a set of note cards and send the whole set to someone. Now I've made 5 here and they're not completely dry because I did use glossy accent on some of these. So if you sent a whole set of them, it might be kind of thick. You might need to use a larger envelope. I think I'm going to send these out at random to folks. I don't know who. I haven't picked. I don't know. But I think I'm going to send one card to one person. So 5 people will get my little note cards. And inside of these note cards here, I put a little, let me stand up and show you here. There's a little piece of writing in here, writing scrapbook paper. So, and I might just include a little piece of copy paper saying, "Hello, I'm thinking of you." And I might just do it in my own handwriting. And then I'll sign it. And then if they want to pass that card along or use it in their Happy Mail journal, whatever they want to do with it, they can take that note out if they want to send it to somebody. That's what I'm thinking right now. So here are my little cards. Let me show them to you one by one, and then I'm going to make a little card. So I have purchased these nature charms. I think I got 100 of them for, I don't even know how much they were, but I got it on Amazon, and they're really fun to use. They're really fun to use. I think I'm going to get some more of them. I got them because I was doing my nature journal. But here's this one. And this was a part of a cluster I've made. I tore the cluster in half. And I think this is dry enough I can open it up. So there's one. This one is a little bit more simple, but it's a little piece of linen with some leaf fabric and a little dragonfly on a little bit of lace there. But it's just a simple little hello. And this one was another cluster that I tore apart. I'm going to put my clusters on note cards. And you can make larger note cards if you want. These are the size I use because I was inspired by what Keisha did. Keisha at Keisha's Creations. She does market sales. And this is what she included for a thank you. How look at, she probably had that stamp made. Isn't that cool? And then she put a little stamp down there, and there's a little thank you for your order. Simple, very simple, but very cute, very elegant. This one, I used a tassel, and a piece of ribbon. I think I got this in Happy Mail. And I'm going to use the other half of this on my card tonight. And a little, and then here's one with a filigree on it. And this was a cluster too. So if you can't think of ways to use your clusters, tear them apart and put them on note cards. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make one. I'm going to set these aside if I can find a place. And I usually am not this prepared, but I did go ahead and prepare and show you how I made them. First of all, I just have all these little scraps from my, you don't throw these away. And some of you might recognize some of the pieces here. I think this one was sent to me in Happy Mail. And here's some, this came from Junk Journal Johnny's Nature box. I think this came to me in Happy Mail. And I was going to use this. I'm going to keep that out. So keep your little pieces. I have some charms here. I already showed you that I got them off of Amazon, whole package of them. And then I just cut a piece 2.5 inches by 4 inches. And that will be folded in half. And then I cut a piece of, this was scrapbook paper with the gold writing on it. And it was just some I had around. I think it came in a paper pad. So you'll want some, maybe some glossy accent or double-sided tape. That's all I used. So I'm going to, oh, and then I did use, you can either use, I use blue, but then I got tired of the blue and I went to this sage or fern green. And it kind of matches my green front a little bit better. And a sponge. And because I cut these pieces a little bit shorter, so it'll have a border around there. And then I just sponge out my border here on the inside. And I'm not too particular. I don't care if the sponge, yeah, I mean, you sponge your ink the way you want. I kind of like it distressed. It looks kind of like a ruffle there. I mean, you can buy those sponges where you know, I don't bother with the, well, I have them, but I very seldom use those, to be honest with you. I like my, and I see I have a bunch of ink on the background and I don't like that. I'll use this sheet as a journal, junk journal page. So that's all I do there. And then I will tape the back of this. And because my hands are inky, and for mine it doesn't matter, but if you're making something that you want to send out and you have inky hands, take a moment and forgive my fingernails because I have been working out in the yard today. And I've been playing with walnut ink and marigold ink, and my poor hands really get their use. All right. So kind of keep your hands as neat and clean as possible. Meri giggles at that because that's not Meri. I'm not a neat Nick. I do try to stay neat though, but I'm not somebody who freaks out if my art has a stain on it. How do I cover that up? Now this double-sided tape is a little bit, some of it I find comes off really nice, but this particular row I have to use my needle to get under here. Just pull it up, just kind of get under the release paper. Sometimes it's a little harder. some rows. I had a roll the other day that, man, that tape just came off very, very nice. But this wasn't too bad. Okay, now if you care which way your writing goes, in this instance, the writing faces this way and this way. But if you care where your writing goes, and you care more when you're doing the front of the note card. And then I just fold it in half. And because I have 2 layers here, it is a little bit thicker. And I use my bone folder to crease it down as much as I can, but it'll still pop open. Okay, now for my front, for the one I'm going to keep for myself, I'm going to use this little Singer machine. And that came to me, I believe, from Janet Nash. I believe that came from Janet Nash. And it fits on here nice, but I would like to use, and I think this came from Janet Nash too, this black ribbon. And that would be so pretty if I could get it on both sides. And I might try doing that. Ah, Meri, I'm going to split the ribbon, but I'm going to cut it to size here first. And usually when I'm doing these things live, I'm looking for my scissors, I'm looking for my tape, I'm looking for my glue. I tried to have these be prepared as possible. Now I'm going to cut this ribbon right down the center so I can have a top and a bottom to it. And let me tip my camera just a little. Move my paper up a little there. Now I'm going to take some double-sided tape and put on the top and the bottom of this. And I did use one staple on the one that had the paper butterfly. But I've tried to stay away from staples here. I've used glossy accent and double-sided tape. And I never know how, this is double-sided tape from the Dollar Tree, and I like it. I use it all the time. I have this ridiculous fear that they're going to run out of, every time I like a product, it disappears off the market. So I hoard my tape. Every time I go to the Dollar Tree, I buy about five rows of it. Now it's a little bit harder for it to stick to fabric, so you kind of have to convince it to stay down while you pull up your release paper. And just kind of get it. And you could put this down with glue too, but the thing with glue is it will soak through the fabric. There we go. Now I'm going to take one of these ribbons and put it here, I believe. And it doesn't matter if a little bit of that tape is still sticky there, because I'm going to tape it down anyway. So let's do the other side. See, it looks like that. And I like that. It's not perfect, but hey, it's for me and I like it. I'm not a perfectionist. Nothing against perfectionists. They have their place in this world, but I'm not going to stress out at my age if my ribbon is not the same length as my piece. I can cut my piece if I want, but I don't want. All right, let's see if I can get a hold of that. Almost. Yeah. being stubborn. Did I pull it up? No. Let's get a different piece. I got some tape peeking out there on that other one. All right. And if you burnish it down, that helps too, kind of burnish it down. But it depends on, I've had some of this tape just lift off real nice, and other times I have trouble with it. It's a little bit harder when you're putting it on fabric. There we go. Now, where's my other piece of black? And you want to make sure that you've got the underside on the underside. And that one's nice. So now I want to put some tape. I think on the card would probably be easier. But see how it's going to look here? Like that. So I'll put my tape in here. And we don't have to put it clear out to the edge. And let's see, whoops. Kind of get an idea about how far I want to go down. I will say the tape is sticky. This row is real sticky. But too, I think it depends on how long you've had it, where you keep it. You know, if your room is hot, it might be a little harder to work with. All right, let's pull the strings off here. So use up what you have. Don't, I mean, well, I did buy those charms, but I bought those charms for my nature journal. And I have more charms than I'll use in my nature journal, so why not send them out as happy mail? I don't know. That thread just says it wants to be a part of this piece, so I'm going to let it be. Red thread. Probably on my pen here. Now, come on. Come on. Don't give me any guff. There we go. Now I'm just going to take my piece and put it right down in here, just like that. Now I've got some little gathers there, but that's okay with me. Now I have a dragonfly, a butterfly, and a butterfly. Which one do I want to use? Butterflies and the dragonfly is real big. Do I even, you know what I'd really like to have is a black button. And I have them, but I really don't have them out. So what else could I use on here? She asks herself. You know, I have this necklace that I could put a little silver heart on there if I wanted. I'm not sure about that. Let's see what else I have. I have a whole bunch of fabrics here. Let's see if I have a smaller piece to put on here. A little piece. I like the bees. Let's look at the bee. I think there's a little one down in here. a little butterfly or a little bee down in there. Let's open it up. We need to put those others away anyway. Open it up. Find a little one. I am this little bee, right? Come on, little bee. He's hiding underneath of the fold of the envelope. Yeah. And let's put these others back. And I also have this little bit of bling here. I think I'll put that bling there. And the bee, I think I'll put up at the top maybe. Just like that. But I'm going to come back and do that. I'm going to open, this is the inside. I'm not going to do anything to the inside. I might write a note to myself or something. I'm going to write the notes offline. On the back, I'm going to put this. This came from Janet Nash. This little piece of fabric. It said singer. It was like this. Well, like this. And then I think I tore it in half. So I'm going to put this back here with tape. And then I have this little piece of plaid that I thought I would put on there. Just scrap. Just little pieces of, well, this isn't scrap, but these are scrap pieces. So let me put some tape on it. And I'm going to go ahead and let this go live. This is an unlisted. This is an unlisted stream. I did a stream tonight. And I got so inspired when I opened Keisha's. When I opened Keisha's email. Is that going to be too much? Let's see if I can't take this piece off. Sometimes if you work quick, you can get them off. Sometimes they tear your paper. Let's take these off. Let's see. That covers. Yeah. Pull that one off. Oh, it's being good to me. And then we're going to put this one on in the middle. Notice I get pins out because I'm continually losing them. There we go. Now, let's put the little singer tab down. I was thinking about getting some pattern paper. I worked out of my kit for tonight, and it had pattern paper in it, but I didn't want to go digging it out again. That's the only thing about putting things in kits and boxes. You have to go get them out again if you want to use them. Sometimes if you have all this stuff out on your desk, you're inspired to use it. And let's put this little piece of plaid on here. And the little piece of lace. I think I'll put that on with glossy accent. So I'm going to open this card up like this, and we're going to use glossy accent. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there, just enough to hold it, because it'll go through the lace. And I suppose I should put it this way. It doesn't really matter, but just enough to hold it in place. And then we're going to put this little piece of bling on the front. Maybe the length of that machine, little dots of bling, of glossy accent there. And yeah, put this down right on top of it. And I get it down nice. Sometimes my fingers pick it up again, and then my little bee I'm going to put up at the top. And I'm just going to glue him on. He's got a little hanger on him, but I'm just going to glue him on. And I'm just putting a dot of glossy accent, and I'm going to put him right over it. Right there. So there's my note card. There's my note card. So let's add it to the ones that I have. Now, I'm not saying when these are going to go out. I get really inspired to do these things. Mailing is hard for me. But these are the ones I'm going to send out 5 to 5 people at random. And I'm keeping the little singer one. And this one is going to fly off on me. He's not dry yet. I'll probably have to redo him. But there we go. Those are my note cards. I'm going to send them out at random. I don't even know who they're going to. It's not a giveaway. It's a happy mail. And I just pick random people and send them out. And this, of course, is a filigree. It looks a little dark on the... And this was what I was inspired by. Thank you, Keisha, for the inspiration. It's just darling. This is going to go in my happy mail journal. So thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to try to come on early tomorrow at 7 Central and work on my Inktober. Have a great weekend.